Have you ever felt this? You've read so many self-help books. You've underlined powerful lines, written notes in the margins, saved quotes as your phone wallpaper. You've even watched dozens of motivational videos, the kind that make your heart race and your mind scream, yes, this time I'm really going to change. But then nothing really changes. A few days go by, and you're back to the same habits, the same overthinking, the same feeling of being stuck, and slowly, that motivation, it fades away. And then comes the worst part, you start to blame yourself. You think, maybe I'm just not disciplined enough. Maybe I'll never change. Maybe there's something wrong with me. But let me tell you something that might surprise you. You are not broken. You are not lazy. And you are definitely not alone. In fact, most people who dive into self-help content, books, videos, podcasts, go through this exact cycle. They consume a lot but still feel lost. So the real question is, why? Why do so many smart, driven people like you still struggle even after reading 50 self-help books? In this video, we're going to talk about the truth behind that, the patterns no one talks about, the mental traps we all fall into, and most importantly, how you can finally break free. Because it's not about reading more. It's about understanding better, doing better, living better. Ready to finally make self-help helpful? Let's begin. Let me start with something honest. Reading self-help books can become an addiction. Not a dangerous addiction, but a comforting one. Why? Because reading about success, focus, discipline and habits gives us the illusion of progress. It feels productive. You're sitting there with a book in your hand or watching a video, and it feels like you're doing something important. You read about waking up early, and you feel inspired. You highlight a line about consistency, and for a moment, you feel like your life just shifted. But here's the truth. Reading is not the same as doing. Let me ask you something. Have you ever finished a really great book, felt super pumped, ready to change your life, and then 2 days later you're back to your old habits? That's the trap. Motivation fades. Life gets busy, and without realizing it, you move on to the next book. You tell yourself, maybe this next one will finally fix me. But no book can fix you unless you apply it. We become collectors of wisdom. We underline quotes, write notes, nod in agreement, but we don't change our routines. We don't build new habits. We don't take action. It's like reading 10 cookbooks, but never stepping into the kitchen. The self-help trap is not about reading too much. It's about not slowing down enough to apply what you've read. So the big question is, how do you stop the cycle? How do you shift from consuming ideas to living them? Let's talk about that next. Let me give you a real-world example. Go to Google right now and type, how to wake up early, how to stop procrastinating, how to build better habits. You'll get thousands, maybe millions of results. Videos, blogs, reels, podcasts, PDFs, checklists. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's the opposite. We're drowning in information but starving for direction. We've turned into content machines, always consuming, rarely applying. And that's not your fault. That's how the internet is built. You finish one motivational video, and the algorithm throws you 5 more. You open Instagram for a quote, and 30 minutes later, you've watched a dozen reels. But what did you actually take away? Let me ask you this. When was the last time you read a book and applied just one idea from it consistently for 30 days? Just one. Not 10 habits. Not a complete morning routine. Just one powerful idea, practice daily. Most of us don't do that. We start a book. Maybe finish it. Maybe not. We feel inspired. But before we've even tested one principle, we're already on to the next one. And here's the thing, ideas don't change your life. Implementation does. Real change doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you practice over and over again. So next time you come across a great insight, pause, write it down, try it, test it in your real life. Because clarity won't come from reading more. It'll come from doing less, with more focus. And in the next part, we'll explore why you still feel lost even with all this information at your fingertips. Let's go deeper for a moment. Why don't we apply what we read? Why is it so hard to take real action, even after finishing amazing books? Because change is uncomfortable. Because action means effort. Because trying something new means risking failure. It's much easier to highlight a quote than to actually live by it. It's much easier to read about confidence than to have that hard conversation you've been avoiding. It's much easier to nod your head at a mindset shift than to actually shift your habits. Let me ask you, have you ever read a book that hit you so hard you told yourself, this is it, this is the one that's going to change me, but then nothing really changed? Why? Because books can't do the work for you. No book can magically fix your life. What they can do is shine a light, show you a path, offer you a mirror, give you tools. But you still have to pick them up and use them. And here's the truth no one talks about enough. Knowing what to do and doing it are two very different things. Sometimes we're scared. Scared to fail. Scared to look foolish. scared that we'll try and still not see results. So instead, we go back to what's comfortable, we read more. We look for that one idea that might finally unlock everything. But deep down, we know. The real transformation starts after the book ends. Here's another big reason we don't apply things. We expect immediate results. We try waking up early for 2 days and give up. We meditate for a week and feel like it's not working. We track expenses for a few days, then stop. But the truth is, consistency beats intensity. One powerful idea, applied daily, quietly, without applause, will do more than reading 100 books passively. So the next time you read something that resonates, don't rush to the next thing. Pause. Pick one idea. Live with it. Practice it. Because growth doesn't come from collecting wisdom, it comes from becoming it. And in the next part, we'll look at a better way forward, how to read books in a way that actually changes your life. Books give us tools, but we have to build the house. Let's talk about something that goes deeper than habits, goals, or morning routines. Your identity. You see, one big reason we stay stuck even after reading dozens of self-help books is because we're trying to build a new life while still holding on to our old identity. We say we want success, but deep down, we don't really believe we deserve it. We say we want confidence, but we keep acting like someone who's afraid to speak up. We say we want discipline, but we still call ourselves lazy or unmotivated when we mess up. This is what's called the identity gap. It's the space between the person you are today and the person you want to become. And here's the hard truth. No amount of reading can close that gap for you. Only you can. Because change doesn't start with reading 100 books. It starts with asking, who am I becoming? What do I believe about myself? Am I willing to let go of the old version of me? Books can guide you. They can offer clarity. They can give you tools. But unless you shift your self-image, you'll keep circling back to the same habits, the same fears, the same patterns. So next time you read something powerful, don't just ask, how can I do this? Ask, who do I need to become for this to feel natural? That one question can change everything. Let me ask you something honest. Would you rather read 50 books and stay exactly the same? Or read just 5 books and actually change your life using the ideas inside them? Most people think growth comes from more pages, more highlights, more information. But real transformation, it's not about more. It's about doing. We don't need another motivational quote. We need to pause, reflect, and take action, even if it's tiny. Let me share something simple that actually works. Every time you finish a self-help book, don't just move to the next one. Instead, write down one action step from that book. Just one. Then commit to doing it every day for the next 30 days. Not 10 things. Not 5. Just one small change. Read Atomic Habits. Your one step could be setting your gym shoes by the door. Read The Power of Now. Your one step could be 2 minutes of daily mindfulness. Read Deep Work. Your one step could be a 30-minute focus block. And here's the rule. Don't pick up the next book until you've actually practiced that one step for a month. That's how you turn reading into results. Inspiration wears off. Action sticks. Books can spark change, but only your habits create it. So next time you read something that moves you, don't just smile and underline it. Live it. Try it. Repeat it. That's where growth actually happens. Here's a truth we often forget. Success isn't about knowing more. It's about doing the simple things again and again and again. We chase new ideas, new hacks, new shortcuts. But real growth, it doesn't come from what's new. It comes from what's repeated. James Clear explains this beautifully in Atomic Habits. Small habits, done consistently, create big results over time. Think about it. Check mark. Drinking water every morning won't change your life in a day, but do it for a year. Your energy, focus, and health improve. Check mark. Writing just 50 words daily won't make you an author overnight, but in 6 months, you'll have a draft ready. Check mark. Practicing gratitude for 2 minutes a night won't magically fix your mood, but after 90 days, your entire mindset can shift. We don't need 100 tips. We need 3 core habits practiced daily. Ask yourself this. What are your 3 habits? The ones that anchor your day, support your goals, and build the life you want? And more importantly, are you showing up for them consistently? Repetition builds identity. The more you do something, the more you believe this is who I am. That's when real change happens. Not from one massive action, but from a quiet rhythm that compounds. So stop searching for the next big secret. Start practicing the small ones over and over again. Repetition beats perfection. Always. Let's move from theory to real life. These aren't celebrities or gurus. Just regular people like you and me who decided to apply one idea instead of chasing 100. Let me start with Rohit, a software engineer in Bangalore. He read Deep Work by Cal Newport. Instead of highlighting quotes and moving on, he made one simple change. He blocked 2 hours each morning. No phone, no emails, just focused work. That's it. The result? He doubled his productivity, not because he worked more hours, but because he finally worked without distraction. Then there's Megha, a marketing manager from Delhi. She read The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Instead of trying to copy the whole routine, she picked 2 habits: waking up early and going for a walk while journaling for 10 minutes. She said it changed her mornings and slowly, her anxiety reduced. Why? Because she finally had time for herself before the world demanded her attention. And lastly, Arjun, a college student. He stopped bouncing between books. He read The One Thing by Gary Keller and asked, "What's the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier?" He used that focus strategy for his studies. He stopped multitasking, focused on one subject per day. His grades improved, and so did his confidence. These stories aren't magical. They're not about overnight success. They're about people who stopped overthinking and started applying. The lesson? You don't need more books. You need more action. Pick one idea, live it, let it change you. That's where transformation begins. None of these people did anything crazy. They just chose to do. That's the difference. If you've read a lot but still feel stuck or lost, maybe the answer isn't more reading. Maybe it's time to stop consuming and start creating. Let me explain. Reading books, watching videos, listening to podcasts. All of it gives us ideas. But at some point, you have to do something with those ideas. You have to shift from being a sponge to being a builder. Instead of reading another morning routine guide, create your own. One that fits your life. Start with one small habit and shape your mornings from there. Instead of watching hours of productivity content, create boundaries. Turn off notifications. Set clear work times. Protect your focus. Instead of just journaling about your dreams, start something real. Write that first blog post. Launch that YouTube channel. Even if it's messy. Even if no one's watching. Because here's the truth. You grow faster when you create. When you build. When you try and fail and adjust. It's not about being perfect. It's about putting your ideas into the world. Testing them. Living them. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can create today from what I've learned? It could be a system, a habit, a mindset shift, even just one brave decision. Remember, books are blueprints, but you're the architect. The shift from consumption to creation. That's when life really starts to change. Let me share something that changed the way I read. And honestly, changed my life too. For years, I was consuming books like fast food one after another, barely digesting the ideas. But nothing really stuck. So I changed my approach. Here's what I do now. First, I only read one book at a time. Not 3 at once. Not flipping between titles. Just one. Because focus matters even with reading. Second, I underline ideas that hit me hard. Not everything. Just the lines that feel like they're speaking directly to me. That's my brain's way of saying, hey, this matters. Third, I pause after every chapter and ask myself, how can I actually use this? Not just understand it, but live it. That one question has helped me pull more value from a single book than I used to get from 5. Fourth, I don't let myself pick up a new book until I've applied at least one idea from the last one. Because the goal isn't to finish books, it's to be transformed by them. Now if you try this for just 30 days, I promise, you'll stop reading for motivation and start reading for transformation. You'll remember more, apply more, and slowly your life will begin to reflect the wisdom you're learning. So next time you pick up a book, don't just ask, is this good? Ask, what will I do with this? That's how you read differently. And that's how you start to grow, one page at a time. Let's be real, books are amazing. They've changed my life. They've given me clarity when I was confused. They've calmed me when I was anxious. And they've shown me what's possible when I felt lost. But here's what I've learned over the years. Books are not magic. They won't walk for you. They won't wake up early for you. They won't change your life unless you do. Books are mirrors. They reflect what you need to hear. They hold up a light and say, look here, this matters. But you still have to look. You still have to move. You still have to act. So if you've read 10, 20, 50 self-help books and still feel stuck, I want to tell you, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You've just been collecting tools. Now it's time to build something with them. You don't need more quotes. You don't need more highlights. You don't even need more motivation. What you need is implementation. So starting today, pick one book you've already read. Find one idea inside it, and just do it. Every day. For 30 days. No skipping. That's how change happens. Not overnight. Not all at once. But slowly. Consistently. With simple actions. So stop searching. Start applying. And remember, books don't change your life. You do. Hey, if this video connected with you, even a little, if it made you pause, reflect or even just nod your head once, tap that like button. not just for me, but to help this message reach more people who might need it right now. And if you're someone who wants practical, clear, and life-usable wisdom from books, then hit subscribe and join the Books Ahead family. Here we don't just talk about books, we live them. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which book did you love but never really applied? Or which book finally pushed you into action? Be honest. This is a no-judgment space. We're all learning here. And if you're ready to stop just reading and start applying, I've got you covered. Check the description below. You'll find long-form summaries of powerful books, broken down in a way that's simple to understand and easy to implement. Start with just one. Watch it. Take notes. Apply one idea. And remember this as you go. Books are great. Reflection is powerful. But action is what changes your life. Until next time, keep reading, keep reflecting, and most importantly, keep doing. Because at the end of the day, you are the author of your own story. Make it a good one.